What's up, guys? We are back. Fitness Profit Multiplier, Anthony and Jimmy. And there are two options that people go through who are navigating their business and trying to get it to the next level. The first group are probably somebody listening to this, and I've been in this boat before. Second group is our clients and people who we've taught this second way of looking at the business, how to navigate through it. So I don't want to try to spoil anything in that intro, but hopefully you guys get the idea. The goal is to move you guys from the person who is doing the option one, who they should never choose, and get them to moving to option two. So let me explain the two options. So when you first open up your business, you're a gym owner, you're excited about your thing. So you open up a gym, right? So now you're a business owner. You're thrust into this luxurious world of business ownership where there's a lot of trials and tribulations that you're going to go through. So you start to, okay, I want to start to grow my business. So what do you start doing? You start paying attention to your bank account. You start paying attention to how many clients you signed up for the month. Start paying attention to how much money you're bringing home, right? That's one side of it. But once you start getting to the level that we're at and where our clients are going toward, you start focusing on different things. And that's the one that you want to focus on. When you focus on those little things that I mentioned before, it's really running your business from after the fact. That's more of a lagging indicators of business growth. We want you to be focusing on the leading indicators of growth. So you never want to choose running your business on the lagging indicators. And we're going to talk all about what the leading indicators are and what the lagging indicators are and how you should navigate your business to grow and bring home 20K in profit.
Exactly. And the cool thing about this is if you calculate your leading indicators properly and you make them actually become what you need them to be to hit certain goals, you will hit those goals, right? It's kind of uncanny how well we're able to predict the revenue of a business within a 12-month period of time or within a quarter by just looking at the leading indicators to see what that story is telling us about the business, right? But turning around at the end of a quarter and going, oh, looks like this is what we made, this is where we're at, is not a way to run a business at all. It's like you spend this money on this advertising campaign, you do this, you do that, and you look at it at the end and you go, oh, cool, looks like we made some money on that. No. It's like, what do all the numbers look like leading up? Because we've done podcasts on numbers before and what numbers you need to be focusing on and all this stuff. But the reason why we focus on so many numbers is because you have to look at what your percentages of throughput look like to actually know and backtrack your numbers out so you have your leading indicators properly established to know where your business is going, right? Too many guys just look at, oh, what did I make this month? How many clients did I add this month? Oh, great, we should be, doing well, right? But have you ever looked at, this is to the, all the gym owners out there listening, have you ever looked at your revenue at the end of the month and gone, what the heck? We added 20 clients this month and I still don't have anything to show for it, right? We've added X amount of members over the course of the year. We've added 60, 70 members over the course of the year, and I have nothing to show for it. I'm not making any more money. Have you ever sat there and felt that way and been like, what the heck is going on? I don't understand this. Because you're not tracking all the metrics and you're not basing your decision-making off of leading indicators. You're basing it off of lagging indicators. By the time you get to the lagging indicators, it's too late to make the changes and you're already there.
It's almost like if we could equate it to sports, it's almost like watching game footage after the game. You can't make any adjustments to the game if you're watching the footage after, right?
No.
So, and listen, I will say this, if you're not paying attention to any of this, even following the lagging indicators is still good. It's still better than nothing, but it's not a way to bring you to the next level revenue-wise and profit-wise. So again, the lagging indicators, your P&L, your how many clients you signed up that month, how many clients you lost that month, all the money in your bank account, all lagging indicators, okay? So Jimmy, let's hop into the leading indicators. Let's try to give them, like, for someone who doesn't know anything about their business, let's give them maybe like the top 5 leading indicators that will get someone to a 7-figure run rate.
Yeah. And it legitimately just comes back down to backing out your numbers, right? So, I don't know if there's a top 5. It's kind of like, we talk about this on other podcasts as you back it out. So we want to back out what we need to get to where we want, right? So if we know that we have a, standard attrition rate of X percentage, right? So we have a standard attrition rate of 10%, let's say, and we have 100 members. So we know we're losing 10 right out of the gate. Before the month even starts, we're like, oh, we're going to lose 10 this month. And we plan for that, right? So it's planning for that moving forward. That's what we're getting at. It's not like, oh, let's see what this month holds at the end of the month. I lost 10 and I gained whatever. It's like, take your averages, spread them out throughout, and then what changes do you have to make these things better, right? So let's say one of your indicators is on average, you have a 10% attrition rate. Okay. So you know that going into the month. So you know you're going to lose 10. Okay. So what has to happen to backfill that 10? Okay. We need to backfill it out. So let's say to close our clients, we have to backtrack the percentages of what that looks like. So if we need to close 10 clients, let's just say for easy math, 50% of our of the meetings that show up close on a membership, 50%. So we need 20 show ups per month. So 20 appointments to show. Okay. So we know that that's our goal. That's what we're looking to get to during that month, 20 shows. Okay. We back that out one more step. Let's say 50% of the appointments that we book actually show. So we need to book 40 appointments that month. Okay. Right. Then we backtrack it another step. How many leads actually book? We could say 50% for easy math, but it's probably something more like 25 if we're running Facebook advertising, right? So let's just say 50 for easy math, right? So we need 80 leads in a month to add 20, we need 80 leads in a month to add 10 clients, which only gets us to break even, right? So when we do all this math, we know that if we have less than 20 leads a week, we're going to be in the hole that next month. We're going to be negative. The revenue is going to go down. And we know that, right? So we have to keep in mind what these indicators look like and what we're trying to get to govern the decisions that we're going to make moving forward. Now, all these percentages that exist within there can be modified by training your staff better, by changing your onboarding process, by refining some of this stuff, which we can dive into and show you guys how to refine all those things to get those percentages better. Because the percentages that I listed are not true to what the percentages are that exist in our businesses or for our clients, right? So, we're getting more like a 75% close rate to 80% close rate from the meeting, right? So then we need less meetings and less leads and da-da-da-da. So if you can improve some of this stuff, then you need less of that. But if you're not to the point where you have the leads that you want, that's the first one, right? And you should really double all those numbers because you want to be growing past that. And I'm sure Anthony would like to mention the freeze rate that we have to look at, the average freeze rate as well. We have to amateurize that into our month early to see what our revenue is going to look like. And if you put all these numbers in place and you go, okay, I know I'm going to lose 10 and I'm going to have 5 people on freeze and I'm going to, and if I get to X lead number, I'm going to get to X client number, right? So you'll know beyond a shadow of a doubt within a couple grand what your revenue is going to be for that month by looking at these things, right? So that's the long and short of it.
The thing that I like to look at the most is going to be how many, and I look at this every week. We kind of go through it every week and make adjustments. How many people signed up? How many people are on hold? And how many people we have canceled? Because if we could constantly beat the cancel and the hold number, because remember, holds, technically they're not a loss, but you're not collecting revenue from those people. So you're losing. So let's say you have 10 people on hold, you're not getting paid from 10 people. So you need to be able to make up that revenue by signing up more people. So those are like the leading indicators that I look at on a daily basis to know what I need to do to get the numbers to where they need to be. So if we need more signups, maybe we have sometimes, if we're not getting, Facebook's not cranking the right way, then we got to do something for reactivation. Call 5 clients, 5 past clients, and just talk to them. And that you get 1 or 2 reactivations that way, and that might bring up those numbers. So if you don't want to like go through and look at all these like percentages and this, that, and I've talked about this before, we're working on something for you guys because I think that if we can get something like this out, it's going to help so many other gyms. But just track those 3, and that'll help you. That'll help you stay ahead of your loss rate, like Jimmy was talking about, and your freeze rate. But yeah, you can't be running your business on like, and a lot of people think that they're not, but you can't run it on emotions. And when you're looking at those lagging indicators, it's just emotions. Oh, we did good last month. Okay, but what can you do to improve? That's the thing, is that if you want to take your business to the next level, you don't just want to improve. You want to really step up the rungs faster and not crawl up them. So that's what you need to do. What would you say are some of the other leading indicators that people should look at, Jimmy?
Well, you have to look at it from a perspective of, I think the biggest thing for us is, what do our leads look like, right? And how many do we actually need to get to reach our goal? So that's like one of the things that we focus on a lot, is when we look at the month and we go and we backtrack all of our numbers, and you should do this for your business if you haven't done this already. It being January right now, you can go back through and go, okay, my goal is to hit X revenue number this year, right? And you backtrack it out and you go, each month I want to see, this much growth and whatever it may be. And you have to keep in mind that there's seasonality to our businesses and what months grow and what months don't, and all this kind of stuff. But when you look at it, you go, okay, what's the revenue that I want to hit? Cool. How many members do I need to add each month with my loss rate, with my freeze rate, with all these other things factored in, all this friction, right? How many members do I need to have to add every month? And then on a weekly basis, you are looking at how many leads do I have coming in? And then that tells you what changes you need to make in the moment to get those leads to the point where they get to, because the leads is where everything starts from, right? So it's really lead number for me is like the big one that we focus on, because we know the numbers down to a T of like, if we get 20 leads a month, we're going to be, or excuse me, if we get 20 leads a week, we will be at the number that I want to be at the end of the year, right? It's just math, really. And
again, that 20 number is Jimmy's number, right? That's what Jimmy needs in his facility, 20 leads a week. And again, this is the beautiful part about what we're talking about, is that when you run your business based on the numbers, now Jimmy knows those 20 leads net him X amount of clients. How many clients does that usually net you, Jimmy?
5 or 6.
Okay. But now for somebody else listening to this, they're just going to say, okay, Jimmy has a 7-figure gym. I'm going to get 20 leads a week. But that 20 leads a week might get you less clients or more. It really just depends on you and your sales ability. But then a good gym can go back and look and figure out what they can do to make that number better. So what Jimmy could look at, in his case, he can look at his closing percentage. If his closing percentage is 75%, like he said, then maybe he could do more sales training with his staff to get it up to 80, 85, to bring more clients in for the same amount of leads. So again, a good gym will know those numbers and know what to work on to fix that. So again, if Jimmy looks at his phone calls and he's only booking, out of all the people, the 20 leads that are opting in, let's just say, I don't know, 5 are booking in for calls, that means something's going wrong with the call. And he can go in and kind of fix that. So this is what we're talking about, running your business by the numbers and not by feel, and not running it after the fact. It's already too late at the end of the month to say, okay, what can I do to bring more money in? Too late. So having these meetings where you look at these, I would say, if you want to look at certain things daily and you want to look at certain things on a weekly basis to make sure that you're on track. If you're like Jimmy, tracking your leads coming in, you probably want to keep a good eye on that every 2 days. Probably is a good idea to get in there and kind of fix things and make it better. Remember, the quality of the lead matters too. If you're just trying to punch people in there to get 20 people, it might not matter anyway. So
right,
just some food for thought, but that's it, guys.
It's about doing this every single day, week, month as part of the process of your business, guys. So that's what we're trying to get at. Don't look in the past and say, oh shit. Look in the present and say, what do I have to do right now to ensure that I have the future that I want? Like, that's what we're trying to get at, is that it's a constant process that you're always refining and looking at and operating in that way, as opposed to looking back at the numbers going, we did well, we didn't do well, right? That's the key here.
Yep. And if you guys want any help with that, just click below. You can book a call with us. You can pick up our free training to get some clients in for free. So pick all that up, click the link below. But until next time, Anthony and Jimmy, Fitness Profit Multiplier, we are out.